Okay, guys, I promise this is the last cut you're going to see as far as ramp work. This is brought fully out to the 3 o'clock position, but I changed the profile of that ramp a lot. You can see the burr slipped and took a big chunk of my guide out because it's really tight and I was using a very aggressive burr, so don't do that if you want to. I mean, I was thinking, what can be done with this if you had a seat and guide machine? It looks like you could machine out that entire guide and basically flatten that entire roof with a machine and have a pretty damn good flowing head. Now, this ramp has been changed quite a bit from this cut. I mean, I added 2 or 3 cc's probably just with this cut. Even though the angle hasn't changed a lot, it was almost 3 o'clock before. If you can take a look, I changed that ramp radius. It's very tight right towards the edge of that divider there on the ramp. So it definitely shoots the air straight up. And I changed the other side as well. I don't know if I can get a different view of that. Let me see what I can do. It's a little tough because it's so deep into the bowl now. All right, you get a decent idea. In any case, it changed our angle of our liquid quite a bit. We got a lot of liquid on the right-hand side. We got nice powdering across the plug. It goes pretty deep into the bowl. You can see it coming right around the short side. Okay. Our 50-degree valve looks pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see what the bore looks like. Okay, I'm going to say that looks pretty good. I think that was better than our last cut. Okay, you can see we definitely got some different liquid flow now. Okay. It almost looks like we got some blue on that far left, but that may be a reflection of the blue. I bet it's a reflection. You can see how low that ramp is now. It's maybe a ½ inch high. It's much lower than the original one that went almost up to the top of the the bowl. Okay, you can see I brought on that ramp side. I brought it all the way down to the roof. I took a good chunk of metal out of that, and you can see it cuts right into the valve guide. So that would not fly. What I was talking about is if you had a seat and guide machine, you machine out that entire guide. You put a heavy duty bronze wall guide in there, depending upon how thick the head is at that point. I may be tempted to do that because the only other cut I feel like doing on this is take that ramp completely out. I may try that for you guys. Take that ramp completely out and then take that. I may take that guide off. It depends. Depends on whether guys want to see it or not. In any case, our liquid looks good on this. Our flows, let's compare it. Now, hopefully I didn't make a mistake on this. The last cut, I think, was our 33 cut, which topped out at 318.2 CFM at 900 lift. Let's see, let's compare those two curves. Okay, so this is 33, more ramp angle, L29 style. That should be the right one. And this one, last ramp cut 3 o'clock position, which is about what this is. Okay, cut 34, 2.1 back cut 50. How'd we do as far as these pluses and minuses in reference to this? Plus, 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 one minus. We did have some noise right here, a little buffeting at 600, but it was still just a tiny bit better. Okay, tiny bit better, 5 better, 5 better, 6 better. You know, it's got a nice fat curve, but it's also a bigger port, guys. If you took 3 cc's out, it's 233, something like that port. I'm not going to measure it. Sorry, just can't get myself to do it. But it's a big port. It's kind of interesting to look at the what the airspeeds did in the port. It's really got different dynamics. And I wish I didn't cut a hole through the short side. I bet I could have really adjusted it a lot more. But this is all in the learning curve to make a smaller valve version get us to our 9-second quarter mile place. I'd rather not use a 2.1 valve. I'd rather not use a 74cc chamber if I can get away with it. I would love to be able to do it with a 202. I don't know if I can do that, but I'm gonna try. In any case, let's take a quick look at our swirls. These swirls versus these swirls. Got knocked down everywhere, all minuses, okay? At 600, we're pretty good. That's a decent number. Not upset with that at all. It's still a swirl port. I mean, if we look at it, it's still... Here, let's draw it. Let's see if I can one-hand this for you guys, right? Your air is coming up here, right? And a lot of it is following around the outside, and there's a whole bunch of it now that can go. This is much more relieved now. Can head out this way. So our basic design, right, is still heading in this way. It's still a swirl port. Now, when we completely cut this out, it's going to change the direction from more like this to like this, okay? Will it still have swirl? Yeah, it will, but it'll be more of a straight port design. I don't know if I can do that without blowing a hole in the casting. As it is, I'm amazed I haven't made a hole through here. It is thin in one spot. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I took a lot of metal out of it too. It's been moved over quite a bit. Okay, 33rd cut airspeeds, 34th cut, minus, minus, minus on the pinch, even though it was flowing a touch more, but it was also noisy. It was starting to lose it over the short side. Interesting what happened to our roof. We got a 0 speed on our roof at this point, which tells me when I do the next port, I'm not touching that roof. In fact, it may get filled at some point. Okay? And then the other side went down considerably. Everything's going over the ramp, but the ramp is so short and out of the way, I can't get a speed on it with the pitot anymore. So all the airspeed is over the ramp at this point. As far as our short side, take a look. They all went down. So we got a ton more air going out that ramp side than we had before. Interesting, right? In any case, could you guys make some power with something like that? It still has decent swirl. 280 at 50 is no joke. All right, max is out. 315, 317, something like that at real high lift. I don't know who would run that kind of lift on stuff like this, except maybe Stevie. He would do it. In any case, got a million other things to do. I got to start planning my trip to go see DV with all the Mission Impossible stuff and the 9-degree dart stuff. And I do have to take a second look at those Mission Impossible heads. I may take a little of the insanity I've learned doing these and apply it to those Dodge open chambers. Crazy, right? That's how I learn. Okay, we're just going to finish up with what we can see as far as our liquid flow. You can see we got a little powdery on that guide right there. This wall has got some real rough marks because I was using a Savage burr on it, because I had to remove a bunch of metal to do what I wanted to do. Okay, we're just about at our 3 o'clock position. Not thrilled with that ramp shape, but it's going to be the way it is. So I think the only other thing I'm going to do is finish wrecking the rest of that, and we'll do one more flow on this port. Other than that, I think it's hammered. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out, putting up with this insane project. Have a good night.